Alright guys, so great day. So kumusta po kayo? So today is September 1. So ito yung first day ng mga bear months natin ngayong 2020. So lumabas na yung inaabang-abangan ninyong singer diyan, no? Na kumakanta ng mga Christmas songs kapag ka bear months na. Anyway, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon is not about bear months, pero ang pag-uusapan natin ay one of the topics in strategic cost management. In particular, yung cost volume profit analysis. So, itong cost volume profit analysis, ite-take up natin. Ang assumption dito is that you have already the basic knowledge regarding cost behaviors. So, meron tayong basic knowledge ng variable cost, fixed cost, and mixed cost. But before we proceed, syempre, balikan natin ng konti. Ano ba yung tinatawag nila na variable cost? So, yung variable cost in relationship to the changes in activity level, kapag ka total ang pinag-uusapan, yung total variable cost, it has a relationship that is direct to changes in activity level. Meaning, kapag tumataas yung activity level, production, or unit sold, no, ng isang company, tumataas din ng kanyang total variable cost. However, yung kanyang per unit information, yung unit variable cost, that remains to be constant. Meaning, irrespective kahit gaano kadami yung units na ipoproduce natin, ang variable cost per unit will be constant. Okay? The other concept is fixed cost. So, sa fixed cost naman, parang kabaliktaran siya ng variable cost, ano? Kapag ka total fixed cost yung pinag-uusapan, kung dumadami yung number of units, no, mananatili yung kanyang amount. So let's say a supervisor having a salary of 20,000 a month. If yung production department would produce, let's say, 1 unit, 10 units, o kaya 100 units, the salary of the supervisor will be the same, no? However, kung i-divide naman natin yung kanyang total salary dun sa number of units produced, makikita natin na mentras or kung dumadami yung number of units, lumiliit ang fixed cost per unit. So, ang kanyang relationship sa change ng activity level is inversed, no? Dadami yung unit, pero ang unit fixed cost ay liliit. However, kahit kaunti or madami yung units produced, kapag total fixed cost ang pinag-uusapan, it will remain as a constant. Alright? So, let's proceed, no? Kahit pa paano, meron tayong yung dalawa na yun, magamit natin as our basic knowledge in cost volume profit analysis. Ano ba yung tinatawag nilang cost volume profit analysis? This is one actually of the tools that can be used by management in planning and in decision making. But in what particular case, no? So, CBP is very useful in profit planning, no? So, syempre, you will join a business and in the end, at the back of your mind, you want to earn profit, no? Hindi ka naman magpupunta sa negosyo tapos you do not want to earn or gusto mong magtayo ng charity, di ba? Pero hindi yon business, di ba? So, ang intention mo at the end is to earn profit. But CBP as used in profit planning is more on short-term or tactical decision. So, dito, ang pag-uusapan natin is how can we determine what amount or what sales revenue is needed to earn a target or a desired level of profit. There are some factors that must be considered. Of course, in our analysis, we're going to use an equation, a CBP equation or what they call the contribution margin equation. No? Dito, may mga constant tayo na i-consider or yung mga factors na sasabihin natin independent sila sa isa't isa and then pwede natin silang gawing basihan, no, in forming a decision. For example, andyan yung mga given yung selling price, sales volume, unit variable cost. And of course, number 4, total fixed cost. So, ano ba yung selling price? Well, selling price as being set by management, yan dictated yan ng competition outside. So, you will set a selling price na hindi naman tayo talo sa labas. Pero of course, marami pang factors na nakapaloob diyan sa selling price, no? Pero pwede siyang gawing constant because hindi naman yan affected, no, ng ibang factors kapag ka linear yung paggawa natin ng decision using the CBP equation. Number 2 is about the sales volume. No, yung sales volume, yan yung ginagamit natin, kumbaga volume or quantity. Yan yung dami nung maibebenta natin o ibebenta natin. Ano? So yan naman, minumultiply natin sa selling price to get the total sales. So gaano kadami yung nabenta, multiplied magkano yung bawat isa, the selling price, to get the total sales. Yung unit variable cost, sabi natin kanina, no, sa introduction natin, siya ay constant. No? Yung information ng unit variable cost, constant yan. How about the total fixed cost? That is also considered constant, di ba? Irrespective kahit ano yung activity level natin, basta within the relevant range, yan ay considered as constant. Yung mix of products sold naman, that is something to do with yung combination ng mga products. Kasi there are companies na hindi lang single product ang binibenta nila. May mga companies na meron silang multiple products, no? At kailangan makita natin if our goal is to maximize profit as part of profit planning activity, kailangan makita natin yung pinaka-optimum combination. Ano ba yung mayroong magandang combination ng mga products na dapat nating i-market or ibenta para mag-generate ng malaking return sa atin. So, in case of CBP analysis, anong product combination kaya ang mag-generate ng malaking contribution margin kapag ka binenta natin as a package or as a set or as a product or sales mix na tinatawag. Okay? Now, in this slide, ang makikita ninyo, doon sa left side, you will see that there is the traditional income statement. So, sa isang manufacturing business, no, o kahit na doon sa isang merchandising business, ito yung income statement na ginagamit. Ano? So, sales less the cost of goods sold is equal to your gross profit, then less operating expenses. So, isa-isahin natin yan. Ano? Yung cost of goods sold sa manufacturing, di ba, there are three elements. You have your direct material, direct labor, and factory overhead. So, siguro, ang gagawin natin, dun sa may right side, we're going to use or convert yung function na yon into a behavioral concept. Meaning, ika-classify natin sila into variable or fixed costs. Of course, there are costs na may combination. Ang tawag doon ay mixed cost, wherein yung characteristic ng variable cost at saka fixed cost ay pinagsama sa iisang cost, no? Pero yung binigay ko kanina, yung tatlo, no? Meron kang direct material. Direct material is considered as a variable cost. Bakit siya variable cost? Kasi if there's no production, there's no unit to be produced, then hindi ka makaka-incur ng direct material. Kasi yun yung may physical existence dun sa iyong product. Same is true with direct labor. Kinukonsider din ang direct labor na variable cost. However, ang factory overhead ay considered as a mixed cost. So as a mixed cost, it has what? Both the characteristics of a fixed cost and a variable cost. So in cost concept topics, ang goal is to separate, no, para magamit natin effectively ang CBP concept, is to separate effectively itong mixed cost. And the simplest approach to do that is the use of what they call the high-low method. So ito yung pinakasimple pero hindi ganun ka-scientific ang approach, no, yung high-low method. Alright. Another function ay yung nandun nakapaloob sa operating expenses. So dalawa yun, no? Yung general parts or function or components ng operating cost. Ano yung dalawa na yon? Meron tayong tinatawag na selling expense at saka administrative expense. So itong mga expenses na to also are most of them are mixed costs. Meron silang component ng variable at saka fixed cost. So kailangan din natin silang i-separate. So yun yung pinapakita ng green arrow natin, ano? Kung saan yung variable cost pinagsama natin, ileless natin sa sales. So pag iniless natin yan sa sales, ang tawag natin doon sa resulta will be the contribution margin. Mamaya paliwanag natin bakit ba siya tinawag na contribution margin. And then lahat ng fixed cost, nandito yung fixed na nanggaling sa manufacturing at saka yung fixed na nanggaling sa operating expense pinagsama natin. And then ililess mo yan sa contribution margin, makukuha mo yung operating profit. I want you to notice na the resulting income should be the same. So irrespective if you use yung nasa left side or yung nasa right side na income statement, kung ano man yung net profit should be the same. So ang difference lang nila, yung una ay nakabase sa function, and then this one is based on, yes, behavior, no? So sa behavior po 'yan. So at this point, meron ba kayong question? Alright, so kung wala naman, let us proceed. Now, medyo i-highlight pa natin ng konti, ano? So dito naman kinuha natin ang patayo, no? Yung presentation niya kagaya rin nung kanina, right? Pero dito pinapakita sa atin that itong mga factors na to, for example, yung number of units sold, yung selling price, at saka yung variable cost per unit, all of this, ito yung nakita natin kanina sa introduction, ano? Sila yung mga kino-consider natin na constant. Okay? Gusto ko rin makita mo na ang basis ng computation ng sales at saka ng variable cost or expense, yung paggamit ng number of units sold. And then, multiply natin sa selling price at saka sa variable cost per unit respectively. So, ano nga uli yung tawag sa sales less the variable cost? You call it the contribution margin. Okay? Yun yung tinatawag na contribution margin. And then, less the fixed cost, lalabas yung ating net operating income. So, balikan natin, reviewin natin ng konti. Ang assumptions class sa CBP is that the unit sales price will be constant. Variable cost per unit is constant. That's the reason why ang ginagamit nating information sa CBP ay ang kanyang variable cost per unit, hindi yung total variable cost. Dito din ginagamit is the total fixed cost kasi yan ang constant, no? Mas ginagamit yan instead of the information na unit cost or unit fixed cost or fixed cost per unit. Ina-assume din natin na kapag gumamit na tayo ng multiple products that the mix or the sales mix is constant. Alright. So, dun sa number 5, makikita mo that sales change directly in relation to the level of units sold. So, that's another assumption. Meaning, mentras dumadami or tumataas yung number of units being sold, yung total sales natin will also increase. Okay? And then, unlike other tools used by management, no, in planning, dito sa CBP, para simple yung approach, ina-assume natin na zero ang inventory. O yung, for example, yung finished goods inventory. Bakit zero? Kasi, ina-assume natin na whatever is produced, yun din yung nabebenta. So, production is equal to sales. So, walang finished goods inventory, and then if ever na merong work in process, ini-ignore or dinidisregard natin ang work in process. So, these are the assumptions in CBP analysis. Alright. So, in this slide, makikita mo naman dito yung contribution margin. No? Yung dinefine natin dito yung contribution margin. So, sabi sa definition, contribution margin is the remaining amount after deducting the variable cost dun sa ating sales revenue. So, ano po bang ibig sabihin nun? Diba, dun sa statement natin, oh, by the way, here in the presentation, sales less the variable component ng manufacturing at saka yung variable component ng selling and administrative will be your contribution margin. Pero ang tanong nga is, bakit ba siya tinatawag na contribution margin? So, tinatawag siyang contribution margin because after settling all the variable cost, ang kailangan mo nang isettle ngayon ay yung fixed cost. At kung may matitira, it will be for the profit. Okay, it will be for the profit. Alright, so hinto muna natin yung ating discussion. So, I'll be back for the part 2 of this presentation. Okay, keep safe mga kasama.